Hello, everyone, and today we're going to be doing some more Warhammer news. There's not much this week in Warhammer, so I'm going to go ahead and do a list for you as well. Kind of a list overview of one of my lists that I kind of want to run. So we'll get into that, but first we're going to do the rumor engine, because that's really the only Age of Sigmar thing at all. Apologies for my image on the left. I tried to tidy it up, but I didn't have too much time. So this image. What is it? We've got this picture, this thing here. It makes me think it's not 40k. Like a lot of people are saying it's a saw blade from 40k. I'll tell you one thing, it's not Ideneth, but Ideneth is the closest thing I can get to it. Mainly because they joked that it was since last week's rumor engine was a soaking wet with blood blade, they were like, oh, here's a dry blade. So I was like, wouldn't it be funny if it was actually an Ideneth Deepkin, so it's actually completely covered in water? But every Ideneth Deepkin weapon has this this little thing that connects it to the handle. So this thing confused me. I looked around in a lot of different factions. I can't find anything that looks remotely like it, so I give up on this one. Let me know in the comments what you think it is, because I got no clue, and it's killing me. But let's go ahead and get into this list. It's going to be a shorter episode. Again, there wasn't much in the way of Age of Sigmar news this week. It's all about Kill Team, which I don't care about whatsoever. But let's get into the list. This is for a 1,000 points Stormcast Eternals list. 50 points under, so 950 total, which means you will get an extra command point in the first battle round. So Lord-Imperatant is your general for 160 points, Annihilators for 180, a Stormstrike Chariot for 170, and then a unit of 10 Vanquishers and a unit of 10 Victors for 220 points each. So kind of narrow, but for your general, the artifact of power you're taking is the Quicksilver Drop to give him a strike first for the rest of the turn, once per battle. And then Shock and Awe is the other one. Each time a friendly Stormcast Eternals unit is set up holier than 12 using Signs of the Storm, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target that unit for the rest of the battle round. For the rest of the battle round, not rounds, that's a typo. So what this does is it's going to make your Signs of the Storm ability make your units a little tankier, which is going to go into the rest of the army. The principle of this army is that the Lord-Imperatant and Annihilators use your Signs of the Storm, so that's your kind of strike force. Your Strike Chariot makes skirmishing attacks going in and out. I'm giving it the spear option instead of the bow. The bow is okay, but I think the spear is better. So Stormstrike Chariot's going in and out, doing some damage. Your Vanquishers act as a pretty hard-hitting and tough unit, and your Vindictors act as an objective holder. If you charge a unit of 10 Vindictors, they're going to kind of wreck you. Because range 2 against charging enemies that charged. So let's get into some kind of unit breakdowns. Again, this is going to be a short episode. Lord-Imperatant can make himself and other units using the Signs of the Storm move 1d3 in your movement phase, getting them closer on the drop. So you have to set them wholly outside of 9. So then this is now getting you either 8 to 6 inches away from enemies. Note, you can't move into combat with enemies, but I don't think that would be too impactful ever. I don't know in what situation that would ever be possible. But you can get closer to enemies. He has a temporary 5-up ward. Just don't roll a 1 on your save rolls. So that 5-up ward is on there until you roll a 1 on your save rolls. So he has a decent and tough melee combatant. Nothing crazy, but can be useful. Annihilators are one of the biggest parts of this army. If you set them up using Signs of the Storm, roll a d3 for up to 3 enemy units within 10. And then on a 2-up, deal mortal damage equal to the roll. So you could either do 2 or 3 mortal damage just from coming down from the sky. If they are charged by an enemy unit, so if you don't get your first charge off and you are charged, this is a rule that will apply to you. You roll a dice for each model in this unit. If any rolls are a 6, the enemy unit gets strike last. And this makes them super tough with 3 wounds each and a 2-up save. They also hit hard with 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend 1, 2 damage. And these are Annihilators with shields, not the Grand Hammers. So they're really strong, and I'd like to use them at some point. Stormstrike Chariot. When you make a charge roll when you make a charge, you roll a dice on a 2-3 on a 2-up on a D3. You'll deal melee damage. I rolled red that tries equal to the roll though. A similar rule. When they use the power through command, you inflict an additional D3 mortal damage to the target and move an extra D6. And this is a fast and durable unit with a decent stat line. Lots of different attacks. I really like this unit. One of my favorite models. But let's move on. Vanquishers, you add 1 to the damage of their greatswords that target an enemy unit that has 5 or more models. So against most units, they'll get extra damage on the first turn they're in combat with them. But if you're up against hordes, they just shred. They're a tough unit with 2 wounds and a 3-up save, with some potentially devastating attacks against horde units. 2 attacks apiece. So if you have a unit of 10, that's 20 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage, 2 against hordes, or hordes is little. And they're also anti-infantry, so rend 2 against hordes. So they can cut through Skaven like butter. So that's something neat to say about them. We're getting near to the end of this list, and this is looking to be very short, so we might talk about the list a little bit more. Vindictors, if the unit didn't charge and it is in combat with a unit that did charge, roll a dice, and on a 4-up, this unit gets strike first. So kind of can neutralize the advantage when an enemy charges. You get that with the Annihilators as well. So this is a pretty defensive list. They are pretty defensible against charging units. They don't actually get bonuses to their defense against charging units. They just get bonuses to their offense against charging units. So 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage, and anti-charge. So if something charges you, you have 2 rend against it. So they can be very good at even against monsters or cavalry that charge them. So you sit this unit on an objective and it's not going anywhere. Or let me rephrase. It's going to be able to kill enemies faster. And if he gets strikes first, then that's just a free round of attacks you get to do. Same with Annihilators. You don't have to do Annihilators until the very end of your combats. So you're actually really good at going against charging, but you also have some offensive teeth with the Deep Strike with the Lord-Imperatant and Annihilators, and then your Stormstrike Chariot being able to charge and then power through to either get into the back line, or you can just retreat with them. If you've seen the battle report, which if you've watched this, you most likely have, you've seen how good this unit is. It can heal up with Rally really easily because it does have so many wounds and a 3-up save. If you give it some more healing abilities from other Stormcasts, it can be super durable. I love this model. Shared a reel on the page, or a short, I should say. So definitely check that out if you want to see what mine looks like up close. I'll be painting another one soonish. Also might be getting an actual document camera I can paint minis with. We'll see. Depends on how expensive a good one would be. But as for this list, let me know what you think about it. I'm really excited to run it. I haven't played another Game of Age of Sigmar yet, but as soon as I do, I'll try and get it edited and sent out on the channel because, well, I mean, it got over 1,000 views, so y'all seem to like it, that's for sure. I don't have too much more to say about it, but just like, comment, subscribe, let me know what some other lists you're excited to run are, and what maybe you think that rumor engine is all about, because I'm kind of stumped on it. I wanted to say Cruel Boys, but it's not, from what I can tell. doesn't look like anything Cruel Boys has. So just let me know what you think. If you see something in 40k that it looks exactly like, share it with me, and I'll reconsider. But it looks kind of medieval to me. So I'm thinking Age of Sigmar. But anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.